Okay, here we are today with the owners of the 1940 convertible Packard Victoria that once belonged to Tom Lyle Williams, founder of the Maybelline Company. We have Bill and Joellen Snyder, who've owned the car for over 40 years probably. And it is in such immaculate condition. We'll be taking you around and showing it to you. But in the meantime, I also want to introduce you to Steve Snyder, their son, who is a historian when it comes to Packard history. And so we're going to get some fun facts here that we've never known, the Williams family has never known before. And of course, the Snyders never knew the Williams family, so they didn't know that this car has quite a history going back to the original owner, which was our great uncle. My cousin Chuck is here, and my sister Donna. And of course, I'm the author of the Maybelline story, Sherry Williams. And what's so interesting, Steve, is when I wrote the book, I published my blog and started putting pictures of the family and the cars and memorabilia, Maybelline ads, and somehow you fell onto my blog out of nowhere. How did you happen to find me?
Well, I got an email from my friend Wes Peterson, who is the editor of the AACA Antique Automobile Club magazine, and he said, "Hey, here's this picture of your dad's car with the original owner with it." I'm like, "Wow, we have never seen such a picture." So he sent me the picture, which was pulled from some other website, and I figured out that they had, through about 5 different places, ripped it off from your website.
Oh gosh.
So your original web publication rippled through the whole car hobby, and there were all of these other people putting pictures up, including pictures of this car at other shows. So after figuring it all out, and I finally got to your website, read your posting, and I thought, well, okay, I'm going to send an email and see if they answer. So like an hour later, you called me up and said, "Hey, this is Sherry," and so that's how we discovered all this.
Well, of course, we were so excited. I immediately emailed my cousin Chuck in here, and I said, "You've got to call Steve," because I can't tell you how often Chuck and I said, "Wouldn't it be great if we could ever find the Packard? If we could find any of Aunt Giles' cars?"
Which I thought there'd be no chance of doing.
Yeah, no chance of
and along
ever.
comes Steve, and the story, as he just told you, right to the T.
Right, so we immediately made appointments in Scottsdale to go to the Barrett-Jackson, run into each other, had dinner together, and decided to do this. And then Steve started telling me all about his dad, who found the car in Chicago, right?
Missouri.
Found it in Missouri, but drove it to Chicago?
Drove it from Missouri to here in California. So
Right.
he saw an ad in Old Cars Weekly publication for the car for sale. He called the guy up, made a deal, got on the plane and flew there. And at the time, the car was very well preserved. It was a good car, but it was an unrestored car. So he says, "Okay, I'm turning the key, I'm putting gas in it, I'm driving it home."
Just
And
like that.
That is what he
To
did.
Orange County.
Yeah.
And you said that at the time, he could have bought a 1971 Coupe de Ville Cadillac for the same price that he paid for this.
This car at the time would cost about the same as a brand new Cadillac.
And how much would this car be today?
Well, we don't know. A lot.
Yeah, I would
A lot.
say close to a
lot.
million.
We
How
wish we
much-
had it back.
How much
But we
would a
don't-
71?
We don't know, and it's
Cadillac
not, and
be?
it's not for sale.
Yeah, it's
So
not for sale, but
so-
still.
so-
The difference is a 71 Cadillac is worth
It's worth-
300.
I don't know. A 71 Cadillac today is maybe a $10,000 car.
$10,000
It's an amusing. It's
car.
an amusing
It's
number.
an interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that is really, it grounds you with, the impact of this car. And then as far as the history of the car, it goes all the way back to Bowman and Schwartz, right?
Right. Bowman
This-
Schwartz was the bodybuilder who they took the Packard chassis and put all this custom coachwork on it.
And a Packard chassis is like 19 feet,
Well, the wheelbase was 148 inches.
148
And
inches.
This car, from bumper tip to bumper tip, is almost 20 feet. It's very long.
Yeah, like a Rolls Royce.
It's
big.
Rolls-Royce size.
Yeah, it's big.
It is. And then as far as customizing it, can you tell me some of the things that Tom Lyle did to make it?
They the original bodybuilders really they used very little of the standard Packard. The foot ornament was custom. This horse was, I've never seen another one like it. The hood is about 1.5 feet longer than a standard Packard hood. And that was basically just to make it impressive. I mean, they used all that length to proportion the car so that it would be impressive. And that was the whole point.
Yes, that's the word.
Long wheelbase is an impressive thing in the cars.
And,
Well, you could see this thing before it turned the little corner. You could see it coming.
And going.
And people go, "What was that?"
Right. The interior is all custom. The dash is standard Packard. But it's interesting. The very early use of bucket seats with fold down armor, and the dash. That's how it came. Was very early use of plastic.
The restoration on the plastic was in the 70s? Or
No, it was early 90s.
early 90s, so
Yeah.
the plastic stayed in the car. Okay. So it did last that long.
Oh, sure.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and it wasn't good enough for show.
Point out on this tunes, it's a numbered dial, and look at these are actually push buttons for the radio presets.
I know. Can you imagine?
Yes, it's pretty
Can
amazing.
you imagine when Tom Lyle and
Yeah, they listen to
Bill
their
were
own ad. They
cruising?
listen to their ads on there. Which
listen to
stations
their
are at?
right
Yeah,
to
they were,
Penthouse Serenade?
there you go.
That's right, with the Maybelline Hour. Okay, let's see now. If I get in here, if I sit in here, you have to be very graceful trying to get in the car. And Steve, why don't you get on the other side?
Okay.
And then I could ask you a couple more questions here.